In the last episode, I showed how a Raspberry Pi could be used with a camera to detect finger position on a large screen. This project is about controlling graphics with a Raspberry Pi 3. And we're doing that by using two other Raspberry Pis to feed in X and Y coordinates of the mouse. So we're just using mouse control into this Raspberry Pi. So what I have today is a simulation of a mouse, which is this device. So here we have a slider for the X position of the mouse, and here's one for the Y position of the mouse. And inside, of course, we have an Arduino acting as a human interface device, a mouse. And it's just connected by USB to the Raspberry Pi. So I don't know if you can see the mouse pointer up in the left corner of the screen, but I can move it around with these slide pots. So the slider will slide the mouse across the screen, and that's exactly what's going to happen when we feed this Arduino with analog voltages from the finger position detectors. So let's just use this as a mouse. We'll go over to the menu and select some graphics. In this case, G-Paint. Let's try and make the cursor large so I can draw just using the mouse control here. Not very good, of course, but for the computer end of this thing, I'm using a Raspberry Pi to drive an HDMI screen, and I need to control the Raspberry Pi with a mouse, which is going to be actually generated from the cameras and the two other Raspberry Pis, which are each doing one axis. I'm simulating each camera with just a slide potentiometer. So there's a Y vertical and a horizontal. And this button is the mouse button, the red button here. These are all controlled by a little Arduino in the handle here, which is a Pro Micro. So it's just reading these analog voltages and generating the mouse commands through a USB cable to the Raspberry Pi. And I can use it to draw things, so I'm just drawing a line across here. Let's make it a full box. So that's just to show that I can get analog signals and control the mouse movement of that Raspberry Pi. And of course I still have to have the A to Ds on the two other Raspberry Pis, which convert the camera information into analog outputs. And those A to Ds have not come in yet. So I'm doing this instead just to show that the back end can work.